Good morning. My name is Fiona Mogita. Welcome to today's show. And today we'll be speaking about children and curfew and the effects that the curfew has on children. Karibu sana, and be with us from now to the end. Thank you.
Okay, to our viewers and followers, remember we are growing. And because we are growing, we want to talk about these children. And remember, children is just a man is a child who just grows. So, we also want to grow with you. Just go there at YouTube, search Gwira Gwira Podcast and do something. Go to Facebook and search Gwira Gwira Promo, Gwira Gwira Media and do something. So, we want to talk about these children. Remember, our children are back at home. Those who were in primary school, those who were in senior school, and also some of them from higher institutions are back at home. So we want to talk about these children, how they can be careful in our country. We are saying the children are our leaders for tomorrow, although the Gen Zs are saying they are the leaders of today. And because when you want to make something from somewhere, you have to care for that thing. An example of a plant, when you just plant a sibling, you have to care for that sibling, providing it with enough water so that it can grow from one level to another. So these children which we are talking about, which are back at home, remember they are your children. And because they are your children, there is a way you want them to be. Hakuna mwenye atataka mtoto wake akuwe mwizi. Hakuna mwenye atataka mtoto wake asemwe kwa mambo mabaya. You want your children to be good, to be spoken of God, to be spoken of blessings. So, these children of today, wanasema ni karne ya 21 ama wanasema namna gani? How do you have to care for them? You do not have to give them all the freedom to choose what they want to do. Last week, we talked about this freedom which is given to these children and the limitation one has to provide for the children. Hakuna venye utapatia mtoto freedom mpate, anaweza toka nyumbani asubuhi saa 3 na arudi saa 4 ya usiku. Even if it is freedom, it does not sound well. So, my friend, I'm just bringing you from the far end to the near side where we want to discuss about the curfew for children. Remember, when a curfew is put in place, it means there are some restrictions which are done to these people. And if the curfew is there, being a restriction, there's something you are trying to restrict for better. Remember, you cannot restrict something for nothing, all because you just want to put the rules for restriction. No, there must be a point, something you want to advance in. So, by now, I want to give an opportunity to my host. We just begin.
Okay, we'll start by saying what is the meaning of curfew when it comes to children. And this means when you have to restrict your child on their movement, like when they come in, when they get out. You can't, a child, as much as you want the child to make their own decision, as a parent, you have to set the rules of the house depending on the age of children. So you can restrict their movements and restrict when they come back in the house. For example, children of less than 10 years, you can restrict them maybe to around 5, around 4. And then you have teenagers. The teenagers are I think they're the worst because when it comes to how they are restricted, a lot of things, you see a lot of bad things happen at night. So you can restrict our teenagers to around 6 p.m. or let's say 7, depending on the environment you are in. And if you set these curfews, we have things that you can avoid by setting these curfews. For example, you see there are vices like thefts that are happening around us, and we have children that are in bad behavior. So once you restrict your children, they'll be prevented from these things. You see, for example, during the demonstrations, children were being arrested. The Gen Zs were being arrested. So if as a parent you set these restrictions for your child, you set a curfew, at least you will save them from such things. They'll not be arrested at the wrong being at the wrong place at the wrong time. So if you set these curfews, it will make your child be at the right place. At least you'll be accountable for your child. Even if things happen out there, you'll know at least my child, if there is theft, there is a shooting around you, at least you know my child is safe, because at this time, even if you're not around, you know, because if it gets to 6 and you know the rules in your house at 6, everyone should be in the house. Even if you are far, you'll be comfortable knowing my child is very safe. Even if you watch the news and see this and this is happening around your home area, but you'll know your child is safe because you've set rules and you've set the curfew for your children and they are following it. So it's not like you're punishing these children for something they've done. Curfew is supposed to protect them from evil. It's supposed to protect them from harm. It's supposed to protect them even from themselves. You know, these children are tempted to do a lot of things out there.
Yeah.
And setting curfew will help to prevent them from harming themselves. You know, also these children can harm themselves by what they do, engaging in bad behaviors, like drinking, like, you know, at night there are people who do prostitution there. They linger around at night and they can be an influence to your child. So you'll be protecting them from such things. So this curfew is not meant to punish children, but it is set to protect them from people around them, to protect them from bad things, and to protect them from themselves.
Yeah, thank you. My course has just described more about this curfew. So, I've just reminded you that children are back at home. Parents, you have your role and responsibility of caring for these children. They are not named, remember these children are named. If someone is called Emmanuel, then the other name which belongs to you is added there. Because they belong to you. And because they belong to you, you have to care for them. Si ati ukiambiwa pale, you have to set some restrictions to your child, unasema hapana na watesa. No, that is not a form of punishment. It is trying to mold this child into the best way. It is trying to make them good for future. Remember, there's a time when you yourself, you will not be near them. Kuna wakati watakuwa wameenda kusoma sijui wapi, ama watafikisha miaka ya kuhama kutoka mahali ambapo mnaishi na wataenda kwingine. And remember, they carry your name. And because they carry your name, if they do bad things, your name will also be mentioned there. Na utaibika mwenzangu. So, it is better you set a behavior from the background. Kutoka kule chini ambapo huyu mtoto anakuwa. Ndio unafaa kuanzisha ile tabia zuri. Ndio aende nayo. Tunasema mtu akikuzwa, ukitengeneza msingi vizuri, the other life is going to be good. Wakati unajenga nyumba, when you make the foundation to be very strong, the rest of the house shall stand firm and also strong. So these children, make a good foundation. Care for them. Restrict what is supposed to be restricted. And things are going to be good. Now, let's just get to the new discussion about these children.
So we'll go to the benefits or pros of curfew. And we'll see if you set curfews for your children, how will it help them, or how will it help you as a parent during your parenting period. And you'll see that, first of all, this curfew helps in safety and protection. How? We've said a lot of things happen at night and in the evenings at most. So if you set a curfew for your child where you've given them the time to get home, at least to be around the house by this time, you'll be preventing them from things like dangerous situations, from accidents, from bad influence from friends and people outside. So from late night, those things that happen during the late night hours. So you'll prevent them from such things, because once they are outside, either they like it or not, they'll be exposed to bad things. So it's not like they choose to do those bad things, but they are influenced. You know, peer pressure is so much around us.
Yeah.
And these children will be influenced no matter what. As much as they are outside, they'll be influenced to these things. Also, for their health development, you see, the health requires us to have 8 hours of sleep. And 8 hours of sleep, for a child to get 8 hours of sleep, at least you'll help them to have a routine. Because if you set your child to be at home by 6, and remember, as long as we decided that, we said that last time, that children should have freedom of choice. As much as they have that freedom of choice, you also have to let them decide to create a routine for themselves, so that at the end of the day, they'll get these 8 hours of sleep. So there are things that they're supposed to do before going to bed. As a parent, you've said things that they're supposed to do. So these setting curfews will also help them to achieve these things. So you've set the rules, they've set their own grounds of what they're supposed to do at this hour. So once they are home early, they'll have to accommodate and work with that routine. So they'll be able to, you'll set that routine, and it will help them for their mental health, physical health, emotional health, academic performance, because at night they're supposed to study, even if it's 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So that routine, you'll set that routine, and you'll let them follow it. Once they get that, once they follow that curfew hour, also it will teach them responsibilities. Responsibilities, like once you've already set those rules, once you've set the curfew and they've given you what they want to do, what they like to do, you'll help them. They learn how to manage their time, because they'll be home early, and they know, once I get home, I'm supposed to clean utensils. I'm the one who's supposed to cook. I need to read before going to bed. I have to watch. They'll be responsible for their own actions. So by setting that curfew, they'll have enough time to practice the responsibility they're supposed to practice. Also, it will help reduce crime. Like in Kilifi, we've had a lot of criminal activities happening in the evenings. Kuna watu wamekuwa kiibiwa mapikipiki, wengine wanauliwa, unapata wasichana na wavulana wanapatwa nje, behaving inappropriately. So those criminal activities will reduce if all parents become responsible and set this curfew. The problem is the parents here I've learned in Kilifi, parents are not responsible at all. Unatembea nje, wewe umetoka kazini kwako, it's at 9, unapata watoto nje, like mtoto wa 10 years 12 years ako nje, anafanya nini? Some parents wamelegea sana.
Yeah.
Unapata imefika saa 1 ama saa 2 ndio unakumbuka hauna chumvi, unaita mtoto wa 7 years, unaanza kutuma kwa duka. That is risking your child.
Yeah.
Unafaa kupenda huyu mtoto. Ukituma mtoto wa 10 years nje usiku saa 2, what if apatane na danger pale nje? So we should protect our children from this harm, and setting this curfew will help protect them so much. Sisi wazazi ndio tunachangia vitu mingi kwa hawa watoto, because leo umemtuma, ameenda, amepatana na mtu, amemkatia, amemuingiza box, mtoto wa 12 years. Kesho atafika kudanganya, mami naenda calculator kwa rafiki yangu. Kesho kutwa kudanganya ninaenda, unaona? Na sababu anajua my parent is strict, hata toka bila ruhusa, atakwambia leo ninaenda calculator, kesho sijui tunaenda discussion, kesho kutwa. And the minute you allow these things without supervision, trust you me, mtoto utapata kidogo kidogo, ndio unapata early pregnancies zinakuwa mingi. Because sasa, especially right now, we have a long holiday. This long holiday, watoto wasipokuwa restricted with these curfews, utapata mimba za mapema zitakuwa mingi. And then hapa pia nimeona watoto wavulana huku around Kilifi. Watoto wavulana wana drop out of school. Why are they dropping out of school? Unapata wanashika hiyo masaa ya jioni, wakati watu wenye pikipiki wamechoka, wanapeana squad kwa hawa watoto wadogo. So mtoto akianza kuwa exposed to pesa mapema, anakuwa influenced to an extent, hata atafika anza kukataa shule. Inafika Januari, unataka mtoto arudi shule, amekataa. Kwa nini? Huku set curfew, huku msetia rules zake za kubehave during the holiday, ulimwachia freedom yote. You're not supposed to give them that freedom.
Yeah. So thank you. I think you're getting me loud and clear. From that side, it is 15 minutes past 7. This is the Gwira podcast. I am your host, Isaac Junior Southern, the defense of voice in the coastal region. We are talking about wellness of children, where we are talking about curfew, setting curfew for your children so that things can be good. So we have talked about crime reduction. Where most of the region you are finding that children, unasikia shamba fulani kuliibiwa, mahindi yaliibiwa. Nani waliiba? Unasikia ni vijana au wakina nane na akina nani wenye walikuwa shuleni the other day. Unashangaa, this time when these children are supposed to be asleep, wanazunguka kwa mashamba za wenyewe, they are doing these crimes. You have to reduce that. Na pia I'm told also in some regions, unapata kuna vijana kama wavulana, unapata wanalala kwa nyumba tofauti na za wazazi kule nje. So wakiamua kutoka kama ni saa 6 za usiku, wanatoka. Wakiamua kutoka ni saa 7, wanatoka. So how do you fight this? You are supposed to set a good example to them. Unawaambia kama ni kulala, nenda ulale. Hivyo tu. Lakini you are just there. You are not advising your children about wakitoka usiku, in harm which can happen to them. What if wapatane na nyoka huko shambani, wanaenda kuimba? Ama uende upate kama huko kwetu mahindi yenyewe yamebadilika yanakuwa watu. What is going to happen? My friend, you have to guide this your children. You tell them, if it is time to sleep, let them sleep. Wengine wanaenda sherehe za usiku. Their effect about going to those celebrations in the meantime. Unapata wanaenda sherehe za usiku, wanaenda huko because of peer pressure. They are engaging themselves in some issues like taking drugs, which is harmful to their body, na zitaleta effect mpaka hapo nyumbani kwako, because the time they will lack that money to purchase those drugs which are available in the market, kutakuwa na shida. Watakuimbia mwenzangu, utaacha pesa mahali ulikuwa unaacha, utazipata. Utapata kuku wameenda, utapata buzi pia wameenda. So crime reduction, installation, kuweka curfew, understanding, teaching them, guiding the children. Remember saa hii we are in a holiday which is very long. I think it is about 2 months. Juu saa hii tuko November and December is there. Kaa vizuri na watoto wako, waeleze vizuri how the life is, what they are supposed to do good, the areas which they are supposed to visit and things are good. Si kuachilia tu mtoto anaenda kule, ukisikia kuna disco, let them go. Ati wakafunze kucheza. You want them to be DJs and MOC. You want them to be dancers. That is not the way you are going to grow. Let them be taught how to dance in the church choirs. Wafunze huko kwa choir and also youth. Hizo zitawafunza kudance, not going to hizo sherehe disc. Yeah. Things are not going to be good. Na utaanza kusema mtoto wangu ameharibika. Ni wewe mwenyewe umesaidia kumharibu. Make things good. My cost, what do you have to add?
Also, I forgot to mention, this curfew will also help to strengthen family structure. Like, unajua watoto, the minute kila mtu amefika nyumbani mapema, it will help in creating the bond in the family, because you have time for each other.
Yeah.
And also, I think every family should embrace the rule that you should, a family that eats together stays together. So utapata, mkifika nyote mapema, wasichana wameingia kupika, wavulana wanafanya ABCD. At the end of the day, mkifika, mkiketi, mmeset meza, mnakula pamoja, mnapiga story. It will help create that family structure. Italeta pamoja hiyo familia, na hiyo familia ikibond tu vizuri, itakuwa ngumu sana kuiseparate wakikuwa wakubwa. Yeah. So we'll also go to the disadvantages of curfew, because every good thing also has a disadvantage. As much as the curfew is good, it also has disadvantages. And what disadvantages does curfew has on children? First of all, it makes these children lose independence and trust. Huyu mtoto utapata, kuna watoto wenye hawachukuli this curfew positively. Especially kama ulikuwa ushawaacha, they are very free, and then ufike tu mara moja, ufike ulete hii curfew mara moja tu. It will bring a lot of it will make them lose their independence, and they lose trust in you. Why? Utapata huu mtoto alikuwa amezoea labda kukaa nje until late, saizi umeanza kumrestrict, akona marafiki zake alikuwa amecreate, kuna vitu alikuwa anafanya hiyo usiku, and it's so bad because utapata watoto wengine, they don't understand why you're doing that. But to work on this, I think the best thing, before setting this curfew, you can sit down with your child, explain to them, tell them why you are doing this. Waambie huku nje si kuzuri. Let them understand why you are doing this, because it's not like as we said, it's not a punishment. Curfew is not a punishment. Let your child understand why you're setting this curfew. It's to protect them, not to harm them. It's to protect them. So as much as it's a disadvantage, we can work on it by letting your children understand why you are doing this. So it's a disadvantage, but it's a disadvantage that you can work on. Let them know we are going to do this and this and this, and why you will do it, and how it will help them. Also, some curfews can be ineffective.
Yeah.
Why will it be ineffective? Utapata wengine unaset hiyo curfew, unaset curfew ya 6. Alafu you as a parent unakuja at 10. Huyu mtoto umemwambia ingie kwa nyumba at 6. Well and good.
Yeah.
Lakini as a parent umekuja 10. Okay, sawa, some of us tumeshikwa kikazi, that's why you get home late. But it will be ineffective because without supervision, mtoto anajua mimi mamangu anaingia 10. Yeah. Atakuja 9:45. Na afike aketi kabisa, atavaa nguo za kulala akaya, ni kama ndio mtu ameshinda kwa bas hapo sasa. So it will be ineffective. So these curfews can be ineffective at some point. As much as we want to set this curfew, we can, that's why you say the first disadvantage, if you make your child understand why you are doing it, if you make your child understand why you're doing it will be effective. Yeah. But if the child doesn't understand why you're doing it, utakuwa unachezwa tu. Wewe kama mzazi unafikiria mtoto wangu alifika kwa nyumba 6, kumbe ameingia 9:45, wewe unaingia 10. So it will be effective only if you let your child understand why you are doing it. And also, this November and December holiday, it's very long and a lot of things happen, especially in the coast region. Tuko na vitu kama disco matanga. Disco matanga ziko kwa wingi sana, and I feel bad seeing children wakiwa kwa disco matanga. Hawa watoto ni wadogo sana kwa disco matanga, na ndio maana I think we need to fight these early pregnancies. We need to fight drugs, and these things are introduced and happen a lot during the disco matangas.
Yeah.
But if parents become responsible, we can help these children of ours. Wenye washaingia tunaweza wasaidia watoke. Wenye wajaingia, we can prevent them from getting there if we set these curfews and we help each other. And then I think also as a community we should embrace ile nini ya kitambo. Mtoto ni wa community, si wa mzazi. You know, shida siku hizi unapata wazazi wanapenda watoto wao too much to an extent. Mimi sitaki mtoto wangu arekebishwe na jirani. So unapata mimi narudio saa 4, lakini hata jirani yangu haizi rekebisha mtoto wangu akimpata nje saa 2 usiku. Unatembea unapata watoto in a very compromising situation. Lakini huwezi muonya, sababu parents nowadays don't want their children to be warned by other parents. So we should embrace that old culture of letting our children be community children. Unapata hivyo tutalea watoto wenye wako na maadili mema. Lakini ukiachilia hawa watoto tu hivi, we'll have a very spoiled generation. Hatutakuwa na future. Na unajua watu ndio future ya kesho.
Yeah.
Leo tuko, lakini hao ndio tutataka watuongoze kesho tukiwa wazee. How will they lead us? How will they lead us if they have these things? If they can't even lead themselves right now. So as parents we should ensure that these disco matangas zisikue mahali watoto wetu wanaenda. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much for getting connected to me. It is 23 minutes past 7. This is a Gwira podcast. Thank you for watching. Thank you for keeping on watch and moving with me. This is Gwira podcast from YouTube, Gwira promo, Gwira media from Facebook. Thank you very much. I was your host, Niza Junior Sauti Anyikani, the deepest voice in the coastal region.
My name is Fina Mogita. Thank you for watching us, and I hope we will bring up children that will be responsible. God bless you so much.